Welcome to BonVoyageTV. I am Olivia Van Leerup and I am in the hot seat tonight. Gerard has disappeared to Bali for the week, poor him. So we have put together a few of the best bits of the last few weeks of the show. Take a look.
We're really excited tonight. We've told you we're going to bring travel experts into your living room. Interesting Kiwis are travelling to interesting places. So we're honoured tonight to have as our special guest Judy Bailey. Welcome, Judy.
Thank you for having me.
We're looking forward to chatting to you. This is Olivia.
Hi,
hello,
nice
Olivia.
to meet you. Very excited to have you here.
Thank you.
Judy, the reason you're here is you are doing a bit of travelling now. What have you been up to? You lead some tours for us.
Well,
Tell us more.
I have. Travel has always been a real passion is such an overworked word, isn't it? But it describes really how I feel about it. I love it. I love experiencing new things, visiting new countries, learning about new cultures, and particularly being with different sorts of people all the time. So,
what you might not know is Judy has been working with BonVoyage Cruises and Travel for a couple of years now, and you lead tours for us, Judy. So tell us a bit about a couple of those, because you've been to Africa and Sri Lanka and India. What happens on the trips?
you know, I just feel like I've died and gone to heaven, to be honest. I just hope nobody kind of twigs that I'm having such a good time. It has been a joy because travel is something that I just adore. So the first trip was to Namibia and Botswana, and a very brief little stint into Zimbabwe when we visited the Victoria Falls, which was one of the highlights for me. And I could just see David Livingstone coming down the Zambezi, you know, in his dugout canoe.
And what would you have said to him?
Oh, you know, look out! There's a big drop.
I know you're Livingstone.
Yeah, but it was the most extraordinary trip, and I think one of the things that I really love about these trips with Bon Voyage is that they're small. They're 12 people max, and that seems to work really well because it means
good size.
Yeah,
it's a small group.
It means you can be
transport.
flexible as well. You know, as you know, if you've got a busload of I don't know how many 40 people or more even, it's much harder to be
it's hard to
a bit
corral
random about where you stop. And
like herding cats, and even just getting 40 people on and off buses is a bit of a chore.
So this all sounds really exciting. Can you tell us a little bit about the camaraderie that you have on these trips and the friendships that you make?
we seem to have developed into a bit of a family.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That the same people came to India that came on the Africa trip.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to Cuba as well.
And I suspect they might. But we're always so keen to have other people join us because it brings a whole new dynamic into the group and freshens it up. And they're all delightful people, just outgoing and interested in seeing new things and experiencing new things.
Lovely. Yeah. I want to join.
Well, come along. The accommodation has become a bit of a feature of these things. But having said that, it doesn't always have to be 5-star super duper flashy stuff. I'm a great fan of small hotels and lots of character.
The character and history.
A bit of history as well. And one of the great hotels that we stayed at in India was the Imperial in Delhi, which is it goes back to the early last century anyway, and it has the most amazing collection of art and antique furniture and whatnot. But also it's oozing history because Mountbatten and Nehru and Gandhi met there
Everyone's
to
been there,
discuss the partition of India. You know, it's got amazing. You can feel the history just oozing out of the walls.
But is it true that there may have been a party from New Zealand that had a bus party in their car park?
Oh, couldn't possibly say.
It is true then.
Oh dear, yeah, we do enjoy a lot of laughs
Lot of fun.
on the thing. And being Kiwis, you know, we're quite fond of our beer, and it's very hot in India. So we had a chili bin on our little bus full of beer, and in India we were met at the airport by a very splendid bus. It was I suppose it must have been about a 20-seater, so there was lots of room for us and our little group to move around. And it also had blue lighting, what do you call it?
Mood
LED lighting.
Strobe lights.
Yes, it did. Well, it wasn't exactly strobe, but it was very party lighting.
Yeah.
So, yes, we did have Bollywood music as well, because our
fantastic.
guide was a young guy who was right into his Bollywood, you know, music. And so he played that at vast decibels on our trips, and we got right into it. We were dancing away.
Now,
And
was he the rather good-looking chap I've heard about?
he's a very good-looking chap. Yes, this has become a prerequisite for the guides.
Well, I'm sure in Cuba you'll be able to find one.
Oh yeah. So Cuba is mid-century retro classic cars.
Well, now you've got me.
If you're into classic cars like my husband is, Buicks, Chevys, those wonderful old American cars
1950s,
are all
early
there.
60s. And they're still running. They've kept them
they're-
going.
They're
They had
still
to.
running, and the architecture is fabulous. It's the old colonial era in Cuba.
And there are parts of that that are being restored with United Nations funding, and it's other parts are not restored at all, so it's going to be an
Yes.
interesting mix.
Yes, it will. It will. So, but I think one of the things that I'm really looking forward to in Cuba is the music. I think if anybody remembers the Buena Vista Social Club and those wonderful old jazz musicians, there's that sort of music wherever you go.
It'd be fantastic.
So we've asked our guide to seek out some really lovely little clubs and places that the locals go, as opposed to the tourist haunts, you know, where they.
And they'll find them for you too.
Yes, yeah. So that's a big feature of these trips, that we try to get off the well-trodden
Do
route.
as the locals do.
Yeah, well, we're starting in Havana, and then we're going to do a bit of a circuit around the western part of the island, and then going up through the middle and back to the beachy area, so that we can enjoy some of that fabulous Caribbean beach time at the end. But we're going through places like Cuba's very famous for being where Ernest Hemingway wrote a lot of his works, so I'm very keen to do a little pilgrimage to his house. We'll be going to the tomb of Che Guevara, who was, you know, the revolutionary and became a kind of icon really of the 60s and 70s, didn't he? Yeah.
And it's not all history and nightclubs and party and smoke.
No,
You're going to get a bit close to nature as well.
It's a real balance actually of that and nature and history. So we're also going to a really beautiful part of Cuba, the Vinales Valley, where there are extraordinary limestone formations that just seem to pop up out of the ground, and a beautiful huge waterfall. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
And we'll be back with more after this.
Ed and Vivo, we've got the biggest crush on Graham Norton. So we flew all the way to his place so he could have a crush on us. Graham Norton's own Sauvignon Blanc. Southern Hemisphere grapes meet Northern Hemisphere fab.
All right, we're back, and Gerard is still in Bali, still sunning himself. Well, apparently he's supposedly doing work and research over there for the best deals. However, I have found this suspect photo of him on Facebook. So it seems that not too much work is being done. We'll see when he gets back. But in the meantime, here's some more of the fun we've had over the past few weeks.
We're really thrilled to have in the studio today two visitors from Fiji. We have Api and Cecilia. They're both from Resort Islands. Api is from Plantation Island and Lomani. Welcome, Api. Bula.
Thank you. Bula.
And Cecilia from Mana Island.
Bula Vina.
Good to have you here. The reason we brought you in today is to talk about Fiji Weddings. You may not know, but Fiji Weddings is big business for BonVoyage Cruises and Travel. We're one of the larger agencies in New Zealand, and Tonya Timmins, our wedding expert, probably does more weddings to Fiji and Rarotonga and places like that than anyone else in New Zealand. But these people are from two of our favourite resorts, and you are particularly the wedding specialist. You look after our people when they get to Fiji. So I think it's big business for you, that's correct?
Yes, it is a very big business for, not just for our properties, but other properties in Fiji. Not only just having couples that come through and get married, you're having a whole lot of family that comes through. There's they tied in with a reunion, a wedding, and maybe a honeymoon afterwards. So we're both family resorts. They'll probably run away to a couples-only resort that for their honeymoon.
Yeah.
Very easy.
Okay, so the legal side of it is they obviously just need to be single or unattached.
That's it, and we'll send through a form, which is an application form for special license, and that is all done before they come to Fiji. And when our wedding coordinators meet them at the airport or the resort that they're staying in before they reach before they come out to the islands, they have the special license with them. It's very simple.
That sounds, I can't imagine it's any more difficult than doing the same thing in New Zealand. So.
Speaking on our behalf for Plantation Island Resort in Lomani, actually the couple will meet the wedding planner on site, and the paperwork will be readily available on the resort. So they don't actually have to appear in person at the registry office.
Yours is a little bit different, because I know, Api, that you have now been appointed officially by the Fijian government as a official wedding celebrant, and your colleague there is the first woman in Fiji to become a wedding celebrant, so that's pretty big news.
Yeah, thank you.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
Deeply honoured and very humble.
So in the resort, would most people get married right on the beach side, or are there many options?
Well, for us, sorry, Cici,
That's all right.
for us, like if the tide is right and weather permitting, we can actually take them across to the sandbank, which only appears at low tide, as I mentioned, and we'll do the whole ceremony there. But don't make the bride panic, because it stays up for about 3 hours.
So tide's not going to come in.
But no Fiji time with the wedding ceremony, at the most about 15 minutes. As soon as they say I do, we'll bring them back to the resort.
Right.
Otherwise, they still have to take time to take photos, have some bubblies and all, before we're going to bring them back.
And on Mana?
On Mana, we have 4 great different beaches on the island. So there's a little spot for them. They can choose anywhere. But we also have a beautiful seaside chapel, which we're the first resort in Fiji to actually come up with the idea of a seaside chapel. So it's a wet weather option, and also for Catholic weddings, because they have to get married indoors, that is also another option.
But mostly they have it on the beach.
Yeah.
But for us at Plantation and Lomani, we have a little community church up on the hill overlooking the lagoon. There'll be another option, as my colleague Cici have said, about the Catholic wedding must be held in a church.
Okay.
That's a directive from the Pope in Rome.
Okay, well, he's the boss.
Yes.
So on the wedding day, we've woken up and the sun's coming up over the horizon. What's going to happen on the wedding day? Can you provide the hairdressers and makeup, and what happens with flowers? Just run us through what the bride and groom may expect on the day of their wedding.
All right, for Plantation and Lomani, we have our on-site team. We have our own hair salon. And what actually happened, like while corresponding with the wedding coordinator, actually we do advance booking for them. So they just turn up and we do the hairdo, the makeups and all. We don't actually have to get someone over from the mainland. And if they want a separate room, we go at the multipurpose convention center. Rockpool 3 is actually for the bride to sit there. We can get some bubblies, cheese, champagnes, and all those. Yeah, cheese and crackers. Yeah, while they're doing the makeups and the hairdos. Yeah, and it's fully air conditioned. I think that's very important on an island resort.
You don't want to melt on the day.
Of course, yeah.
Okay. This, I think, looks pretty typical. So after they've had the beach wedding and the beautiful scenery and a lovely service, so what happens after? Do they, do people go straight into a reception, or is there often cocktails, or how do most people do it?
Sorry, well, for us, like, you know, while the wedding guests are there at the wedding bouquet, I'm talking about like a beach wedding.
Yeah.
So normally the photographer will take the couple, they're taking photos and all, while our staff will be there like preparing canapes and drinks for the wedding group while they entertain.
Yes.
And once they're done, then they'll go up to their room, freshen up before the main reception, about 6:30 at the most. Yeah.
So is that, how's that done? Is it, do most people go for a set menu, or is it more often a buffet style?
The reception, mostly buffet for us, and that's part of our all-inclusive wedding package we're trying to promote.
For us, we would find a lot would, because our package has either the set menu or the buffet, a lot would for us choose the set menu, because it's a great sit down. They would get DJs in, have music in between the reception and speeches, between the main course, the starter, main course, and the dessert. Like I said earlier, is that you can combine it with a reunion, family holiday, and then they can go up for a honeymoon. With a 5 to 7 night stay at the resort, there's a lot of, I must say, like a festivity for them themselves, because they're meeting people that they haven't met for a long time, especially the bride and groom. There's a lot of fun. They have parties 2 or 3 nights before the wedding, and then the night of the wedding is a bigger party. So yeah, and they do other things like the guys will probably do a charter off on the boat somewhere, or do the sea spray, which goes down to Mondrian. It's a great day trip where Tom Hanks featured in the movie Castaway. So they do that, and all alcohol is included during the day. So, and all the ladies would probably do something in the spa, or just take the boat out and get not drunk, but have a great day out there. And there's a lot of a lot of family, you know, meeting each other, and a lot of fun during the 5 to 7 days that they're in.
And if you want to know more, call Tonya at BonVoyage Cruises and Travel. She probably does more tropical resort weddings than anyone in New Zealand, knows all the resorts, and of course knows these lovely people, gets on very well with them, and we have a great time putting it together, and you guys have a great time with the brides and grooms we send you. So
and don't forget, our incredible Hawaii competition is still running, so we'll have more on that after the break.
The spirit of our home lives in moments like these. Hawaiian Airlines. Hawaii flies with us.
Welcome back. As promised, the Hawaii competition, it is still running, so you have 1 week to get your entries in. Take a video of yourself packing your bag to Hawaii, or even take pictures if you don't know how to use your video, and you are in the draw. So one last week, get packing. For now, here is more of the best bits.
Earlier in the week, we brought Tony Smith from Windstar Cruises into the studio to talk about Windstar. So welcome, Tony.
Thanks, Stuart.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Now, you're New Zealand's representative of Windstar Cruises.
That's correct, yes.
They are a little bit different because it's small ship cruising.
Yeah, definitely small ship.
And the ones we're particularly going to focus on tonight are in Tahiti, the Wind Spirit, which is really a cruising yacht. So
It is, yeah.
Tell
Got the
us-
sails, got your sails. Sails are out every time it is actually underway, from when they depart from port, and they unfurl them as they sail away. They are used while they're on the itinerary,
yeah,
with motor, but on the last day of the itinerary, when they're coming back to Tahiti, there is a period where if the winds are right, the ship will actually sail, so the engines are all turned off and the ship sails.
yeah, I saw a bit on their website where even if they're motoring,
Yeah.
the sails will be adding about
Yeah, they do assist.
yeah,
yes,
sails
yep.
are sort of 30% of their total power,
Yep,
so
yep.
pretty eco-friendly as well.
Exactly, yeah.
And it looks good.
It does look good, yeah, especially when you're on board as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So many of our descendants will have arrived in New Zealand on sailing ships, so
Sure.
this is something we sort of have to do.
Yeah.
So in Tahiti, it's a 7-day itinerary.
That's
and
correct.
if we're doing it from here, how does it work?
Well, from here on the package that you've got tonight, it's a flight up to Tahiti on a Friday. You leave here late afternoon, arrive late Thursday night, very early morning Friday. You have a night's hotel accommodation.
Yep.
You have the morning with breakfast and at your hotel. We then transfer you about 12:30, 1 o'clock down to the port, where you join the ship, do all your formalities, and then basically you're on the ship for 7 days visiting all the various islands, Bora Bora, Maria, those islands throughout Tahiti, and then back again on the following Friday. We have a night's accommodation, transfers, etc., and then fly out early on Saturday morning, and then
Yeah.
you're home on Sunday about lunchtime.
Sunday, so it's
Yeah, it's a good week's
Yeah.
itinerary.
just 1 week away from work.
Yeah, especially in the winter months. Sorry, although Windstar is now from May year round in Tahiti, so
It's a big commitment.
it is a big
isn't it?
commitment. But it worked last season, so they've now committed to year round in Tahiti, which is great because you've got all your Christmas cruises and all that sort of thing available as well.
It's a fantastic destination.
Oh.
I've been a couple of times. I haven't sailed apart from just on a couple of ferries and things there, but just the beaches and the
Oh, it's
the
lovely.
blue-
I have sailed it, and it is one of the better itineraries that we definitely have with Windstar Cruises.
yeah. So I think on this itinerary you sail on the Friday from Papeete. It's a very short hop across to Moorea,
That's correct.
and you're waking up the next morning. You're right in the heart of it.
Yes.
And when the ship's at anchor, one thing that's different with these sailing yachts is they have a sports deck at the back. So if you want to, you can see the video of this now, but if you want to explain what happens.
Yeah, they have a water sports platform at the back, and all water sports, should I say, except diving, is complimentary. So when you get on board, you can get yourselves snorkel and fins, so that you can keep them in your cabin, so that when you go ashore, you can just
Okay, you've always got your own, so it's
just
handy.
got your
yeah.
own, yeah. And that's for the whole cruise. And then from the back, they've got you can swim off the back. There's kayaking, there's sailing, there's water skiing. So there's all sorts of water sports, and they got water sports people on board that look after and stay down there to ensure everybody's
so-
safe and that. And they've got ropes hanging out in case you're swimming around.
So if you don't know, like everyone, the in thing now is stand-up paddleboarding. So if you
Yep.
haven't done that before,
No,
there's someone
that's
there
right.
to tell you how to
Yeah,
do it.
windsurfing, that sort of thing. So it's all there.
Excellent.
And then the food, you've got choices, one restaurant for breakfast, and that's up in the upper deck, and
Right.
so you can dine al fresco, so you can dine outside, and there's nothing nicer than coming into port and you're having a nice breakfast on the outside. It's 23, 24 degrees
Yeah.
outside. You're being served your breakfast, and it's a really nice, and you can do that for lunch as well. And then for dinner, you've got a choice of restaurants. Even though it's a small ship, they have got one or two different
Okay.
restaurants. So you've got your main restaurant on the lower deck, which can seat everybody at once if they want, but it is come at any time from about 7 o'clock in the evening. And then there's by the pool they have a grill restaurant which seats 25,
Yeah.
and that is reservations, but nobody can eat there more than once. So they try and give everybody
Everyone a turn.
the opportunity to dine there. It's a steak grill restaurant, and the al fresco restaurant in the evening is a restaurant as well. that you can go and dine at as well.
So we've arrived in Bora Bora, for example.
Yes.
And what's going to happen during the day?
Well, Bora Bora, you've got the day to go ashore and enjoy yourselves. I believe they've got a deal with one of the hotels, so you can go to the hotel beach there and enjoy yourselves. The good thing though is around Bora Bora they also have a private motu. So one of the days there, the ship actually stops there and everybody goes ashore. They take all the water toys ashore and everybody spends the day on this
So
motu.
it's just for the Windstar?
Or private island for the Windstar people.
Right.
And they have a deal with one of the hotels that come across. They do all the barbecue and everything, so you have a nice barbecue lunch. There's a bar and everything there. And it's just a great, enjoyable day on your own private island in Tahiti.
Wow.
I know, it is a wow factor, yeah. There's only 148 people on board anyway, so it's not going to be a huge amount of people.
No.
And the amount of people, because of the smallness of the vessel, make a lot of friends that way as well, because everybody actually interacts with each other.
So it's pretty casual. It's
very casual.
Not a dress up thing.
Not dress up. There's no need for jackets and ties and anything like that. There's no formal nights. There's a captain's cocktail night where he introduces all the staff and all that. Entertainment in the evening. They normally have a duet in the main lounge. They may have a fun karaoke night up by the pool one night, on a sea night or whatever. But yeah, it's a more relaxed atmosphere. Just take a week off and chill.
Well, of course we want to go, and Andy, our director's just said he's
I heard
pretty
that.
keen.
Yeah. So we made a sale without even the show going to air. Yeah.
So you're being Tony Smith, you've come along with a deal for us. So
yeah, the deal, Gerard, is it's a fly cruise package of what I was explaining before: the flights, transfers, and the hotels, and 7-night package up there. We've got it for your viewers for $3,999 per person in the lead-in category. And there's only 2 categories on board, and then there is a business class and an upgrade to a higher category if people want available there for them as well.
That's a pretty sharp price as well. So, and that's exclusive to us, isn't it?
It is exclusive to you.
Excellent.
But it is only a limited period, and there are only limited sailings that we could do that on as well.
So you've given given us that deal for 4 sailings in June and July.
Yes.
Which was great because it's just
as
the
the
start of that messy part of winter.
Yeah.
And imagine telling your friends and family you're off for a week in Tahiti.
Exactly.
It'd be great. So that includes airfares, transfers, all your meals on board, and I believe non-alcoholic drinks are included at any time as well.
That's correct.
And of course, with that
pre and post hotel.
One night before the cruise, one night after, and with that sports deck out the back, you can do virtually anything. Scuba diving's an extra charge.
Yes.
But virtually everything.
Everything you want to do, yeah. It's an ultimate holiday. You just think of that big pool out the back of the ship.
Oh, that's great. So I'd like to go. So if you are ready to hop on board the Wind Spirit in Tahiti, the cruises are 12th, 19th, 26th and 3rd of June and 3rd of July. As Tony said, it's an exclusive deal for Bon Voyage Cruises and Travel starting at $3,999. It's a great deal. Call Jill or Steve at Bon Voyage Cruises and Travel. The phone number's there, 0800 266 869. Details are on our website, of course. And Tony, thank you very much for coming, and thank you for the special deal.
Fine, thanks, Stuart.
Thank you.
So that's it from me tonight. Thank you for watching. I've done it all by myself tonight without Gerard, and I'm actually quite enjoying it, to be honest, so hopefully he won't rush back too soon. Thank you so much for watching again, and bon voyage.